Today we're going to make homemade pizza. I'm going to show you how to make your own crust and pizza with pepperoni and with cheese. It is absolutely delicious and very simple to make. Okay, we have here 2 cups of warm water. It cannot be hot because it will kill the yeast, and it cannot be cold because it won't work. So you're going to put in a package of yeast, and I take a teaspoon of sugar. That's what makes the yeast grow. Okay, and you're going to stir it and make sure it's completely dissolved. Okay, and while that's working, we're going to start on our dry ingredients. According to weather has a big impact on dough, bread flour, or anything like that. So I usually start with 6 cups of flour. Okay? And you don't have to be that precise when it comes to this because you may need more or less. But I usually start out with 6 cups. And that's that. Okay? Now I usually put in a little bit of cornmeal. I would say a good couple of tablespoons. What that does, it makes a crispy crust, which is what I like. If you don't want to add it, you don't have to. Some pinch of kosher salt, some black pepper, and then I put a little bit of olive oil. I would say a couple of teaspoons of that also, and that also helps the crust. Okay? And now we're going to mix the yeast with the flour. Okay? And now you can stir for a while. Try to get it all incorporated. And then you'll see if the batter is too loose, then you have to add more. And that's all there is to it. Very simple. Okay? To see the consistency to me right now, it seems very loose. So I'm going to put in a couple of more cups of flour. Okay. And a lot has to do with the weather. Like I said, if it's a muggy day, you'd probably need more, which today it's kind of muggy out. Okay, let's try this. And when it gets to a point that you can't stir, then you have to use your hands. And it's so much fun playing with the dough. I love it. It is. And I usually bang it on the table, which everybody gets a big kick out of that. Okay, it seems to be coming back. Now what I'm going to do now is start working it with my hands. Okay? Make sure your hands are clean. And now take it from the bottom and work it into your dough. If you have excess when you're done, you can just get rid of it. But I think this is going to take all this flour. See? Very good. I think we're almost there. Okay. It's there. I have it almost all incorporated. So what I'm going to do now is work it on the table. You can use a cutting board if you like. Okay. And sometimes you need a little bench flour just to not make it stick. Okay. Beautiful smooth dough. See how simple that was? And out of this, we're going to get 2 large pies. Now, I don't want to scare you, but now I start to bang this on the table. What that does is release the gluten in the flour. Okay? And I think this is pretty good. That's all there is to it. See how nice and smooth that is? Now what I'm going to do is put some oil in this pan because you don't want to get a crust on this dough. And then we're going to cover it, and we're going to wait an hour for it to rise. And then we're going to Okay, that's more than enough. Now turn your dough so that everything gets coated with oil. See how nice and smooth that is? I wish you could see that and touch it. Okay. Now we're going to get a piece of saran wrap. Just let me take a cloth. Okay. Get a piece of saran wrap. And this has to be kept in a warm place, but not on your oven. Just on a counter where there are no drafts. So you're going to cover this with saran wrap. Okay. And then just get a dishcloth and cover it. And that's your pizza dough. I want to show you, it's been at least an hour. And as you can see, the dough has risen beautifully. So now, what I'm going to do is punch it down again. Okay, just fold it over. That's it. Now you're going to put the cover back on. And I'd say within 20 to 25 minutes, we're ready to punch out our dough. Okay? Thank you. Hi, I just want to show you before the pizza comes out how I prepare my pans. Some people use pizza stones. I don't have luck with that. So I have these pans that I've been using for years. I get some oil and make sure you cover every part of that pan or your pizza will stick. Okay? So get some oil, go all around the pan. Okay, here's another one. I'm hoping to get 2 pizzas. Now, if you didn't want to make 2 pizzas, if it was too much for you, when that dough is risen once, you can cut that dough in half and put it in the freezer. And then next time you want to make pizza, you're just going to make it rise again. Okay, now what I do is take a little bit of cornmeal. It gives a nice texture to the bottom of the pizza, and it almost is like a ball bearing. Okay? Not much, you just want to put a little bit on the bottom. Okay, now this is all ready to put out pizza. The dough is risen, as you can see. I'm going to cut it in half and make 2 pizzas. Now, if they don't come out perfectly square, perfectly round, that's fine. This is rustic pizza. You make it as what you like. Okay, so I try to stretch as much as I can in my hand. I'm not very good at flinging pizza the way they do in the pizza stores. Okay, so I have this about where I want it, and now I'm going to start stretching it. Okay, and the only thing I suggest you do is try to make it as even as possible. If not, you're going to get some that is doughy and some that's crispy. I happen to like crispy, thin pie. There are people that like it doughy. So whatever you like, your preference. Okay, I'm coming to get as close to the edge as I can. Okay, that's as good as it gets. Now, you're going to get a fork and you're going to go with the fork in the dough. What that doesn't make it bubble and doesn't make it doughy. which is not what I like. If you don't like this step and you like a thicker crust, then you could eliminate this. Okay, I'm going to start the other one. So now this is going to go in the oven for, I would say, approximately 10 minutes. You want your dough to dry out. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven for approximately 10 minutes. And when I come back, we'll put the sauce and cheese and pepperoni on, okay? These were in the oven for about 10 minutes. Okay? Let them just sit for a second. You don't want that boiling hot to put stuff on. So the first thing I add is the sauce. Now this sauce, I made a marinara sauce with onions and garlic. If you feel that's too much for you, you can get any jarred sauce you like. But all this is you saute an onion and garlic in a little olive oil, get a can of crushed tomatoes, and add it with a little bit of water to the thinness you want or thickness, and just cook it for about 20 minutes. It is so simple, salt and pepper. Okay? So you don't want to put too much sauce on your pizza because it'll drown and it won't taste right. So what I do is I start with a little in the center and then I work it to the end. Leave a little bit on the end because you want a nice crust. Okay? So now I think I need a little bit more. See? You don't want a lot of sauce. I think I need a little bit more. I think I have enough. Now the important thing to put on a pizza is cheese and oregano. Now I first put oregano because that's the spice. Okay, just put some in your hand. Oregano is best when you crumble it in your hand. It gives off the natural flavor of the herb. Okay. Now since I added a little bit of salt to the actual dough, I'm just going to put very little salt on here. Okay. Some black pepper. And now I'm going to start with my grated cheese. This was some that left over that I had. And we're all cheese lovers in this house, so we use a lot of cheese. Let's go to the other jar. This is Pecorino Romano cheese. That's the only cheese I use. If you'd rather have Parmesan, it's to your discretion, whatever you like. This is what we like. Now we decided to make one with pepperoni and one just with cheese. Now you can grate your mozzarella. I don't particularly care for it grated. I like it in slices. But that's up to you. Okay, so we're going to do the cheese one first. Some of this shredded, but that's okay. It's all going to melt. So it doesn't matter if you're not exactly perfect on cutting it. And then I'm going to take some extra virgin olive oil. Can I have that bottle, please? You're not going to drown it, but you're going to sprinkle it with olive oil. Okay? And this gives it a nice fruity flavor. Okay, I'm going to work on the next one. Okay, my grandson's going to put the pepperoni on our pizza, and we'll be done to put it in the oven. Okay, now if you didn't like pepperoni, there's people that use sausage, people use peppers and onions. It's whatever you like to put on a pizza. These are the two basic ones that we enjoy. And now we're going to drizzle that little bit of olive oil like we did on the other one. And I put my oven very high. It's 475. If you want to put it 500, it's even better. The higher the oven, the faster it's going to crisp up. Okay? So these are going to go in the oven, and we're going to show you what they look like when they come out. I would say you should put these in for about 20 to 25 minutes, but you have to look at them. I would say after 20 minutes, look at them and check them out, okay? Our pizza is finally done. Doesn't that look scrumptious? The other one has a few more minutes to go, so I thought I'd show you the one of pepperoni. It's nice and crispy. It should come up with no problem because you've oiled your pan. And now it has to set for a good 5 to 7 minutes, and then you can cut it and enjoy. And don't forget to watch my videos, Angie's Home Cooking Channel, and please subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day.